Imagine we're sitting around a quiet fire where the world slows down and real conversations can happen. This is a space for healing, awareness, and for reconnecting with the deeper wisdom that already lives within us. So wherever you're watching from, take a breath, settle in, and stay a while. Welcome to the Christopher Lane Connection. I'm really glad you're here. If your life feels overwhelming, it might not be your life. It might be your nervous system. The way your life feels is directly connected to how your nervous system feels. As within, so without. As above, so below. This episode isn't about fixing yourself. It's about remembering how to care for yourself. Your nervous system isn't just biological. It's sacred space. It holds your thoughts, your dreams, your sense of safety, your emotions, your reactions, and your sense of self. And when we neglect ourselves, all of that becomes unsupported. It gets buried under the noise of everyday life, mixed in with responsibilities, distractions, survival. And slowly, it stops being honored and starts being ignored. And when your nervous system is chaotic, your world will feel chaotic. But when it's nurtured, your world begins to soften. Because the way you experience life is shaped by the relationship you have with yourself. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And the truth is, a lot of us aren't lacking discipline. We're lacking compassion. Compassion for the version of us that needed it most. So I want you to take a moment and gently reflect. Ask yourself, what unconscious habits are holding you back? What beliefs have you inherited that were never truly yours? What patterns did you develop just to survive? Are you overly critical of yourself? And most importantly, are you being kind to yourself? Because if you're willing to look, if you're willing to be honest, you can begin to face your shadow, not to judge it, but to understand it. Because awareness is the first act of self-love. You can't change what you don't notice, and you won't notice what you're unwilling to look at. And when you begin to look at those patterns, those reactions, those fears, those beliefs that keep showing up, it can feel uncomfortable, sometimes even overwhelming. Because it's not just behavior, it's not just mindset, it's something deeper. It's the part of you that learned somewhere along the way it wasn't safe to relax, that it wasn't safe to trust, that it had to stay guarded to survive. And when you really sit with that, you start to realize you're not dealing with a broken version of yourself. You're meeting a younger version of yourself who adapted the only way they knew how. A version of you who didn't need criticism, but who needed care, who needed understanding, who needed someone to say, you're okay, you're safe now. And for a long time, I didn't know how to give that to myself. In fact, I did the opposite. I spent many years neglecting myself. My mind was shaped by fear, by scarcity, by beliefs that told me I wasn't enough. Most of my life, I lived in survival mode. And when I wasn't surviving, I was trying to escape. Sometimes through habits that hurt me, habits that took a toll on my mind, my body, and my spirit. Even when I was safe, my thoughts didn't feel safe. Fear was my baseline. I was stuck in a loop, reacting, protecting, bracing, all rooted in a deep lack of safety within myself. My inner voice was harsh, critical. And there were so many moments where I felt less than, like I didn't belong, like I wasn't as deserving as the people around me. From a young age, I took on beliefs that were never truly mine, and over time I started to hide who I really was. The real me just felt like someone who had to keep quiet, contained. And eventually, that path led me into some very dark places. I got into trouble. I found myself in unhealthy, even abusive relationships. At one point, I was court-ordered into counseling, and honestly, It turned out to be one of the biggest blessings in my life. My counselor was kind, patient, understanding, and even after I completed the program, I chose to keep going because something in me knew I needed it. Later on, when a relationship I thought was forever turned into something painful, she helped me to start asking better questions. She helped me to see why I was accepting less than what I deserved. And she gave me a simple exercise. At the time, I didn't fully understand it. I didn't even do it right away. But years later, I came back to it, and it changed everything. I took a picture of myself as a child, and I placed it on my mirror, so that every day when I got ready, I had to look at him. At first, it was just a picture, but slowly, something shifted. I started to remember him, how he felt, what he needed, what he went through. I remembered his sadness, his sensitivity, his heart, and then it hit me. I'm still him. He never went anywhere. So I asked myself, how would I treat him if he were standing right in front of me, right now? How would I speak to him? How would I love him? And one day, I sat in silence. I closed my eyes, just like the counselor suggested. And I imagined walking up to him, little Christopher. We didn't say anything at first. We just looked at each other. And then I bent down and I hugged him. I held him tight and I let myself feel everything that he had been holding. And I told him, I love you and you're gonna be okay. And I meant it. Since then, sometimes I write to him. I tell him how good life can become, and I remind him how strong he is, how loving he is, and I tell him he doesn't have to be afraid anymore. And maybe the most important thing I've ever said to him is this: I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere. And maybe as you're listening, there's a part of you that recognizes yourself in that. A part of you that's been waiting to be seen, to be held, to be cared for in the same way. And if that's you, I want you to know something. You don't have to fix everything overnight. You don't have to become a completely different person. You just have to start showing up a little differently for yourself. Because healing isn't something you force. It's something you practice. And one of the most powerful ways to begin that practice is by learning how to care for your nervous system, by tending to it like it actually matters, like it's sacred, like it's your altar. So, what does it actually look like to tend to your altar? What does caring for your nervous system feel like in your everyday life? It's often much simpler than most people think. Small acts done consistently with intention. Not a checklist, but as a way of telling your body, I'm here now and you're safe with me. Let's start with your breath. Your breath is one of the body's fastest ways to communicate with your nervous system. Shallow breathing tells the body there's danger, but slow, intentional breathing tells the body it can soften. Even just 60 seconds. Slow inhales, longer exhales can begin to shift how you feel. Sometimes, healing starts with remembering to breathe fully again. Meditation is another way to support yourself, and it doesn't have to be complicated. It's not about becoming empty. It's about becoming aware, sitting with yourself, observing your thoughts, not judging them, not suppressing them, just allowing them to pass through. Creating space between awareness and reaction. And if your mind wanders, you're not failing, you're human. Come back again, gently, again and again. Taking care of your body matters too. Hydration, nutrition. Your body cannot regulate properly if it's depleted. Sometimes self-love looks like drinking water before caffeine. Sometimes it looks like choosing nourishment instead of neglect. Even the way you care for your appearance matters more than most people realize. hygiene, grooming, not from a place of vanity, but from a place of self-respect. It's communication. It tells that younger version of you, hey, you matter. Showering, brushing your hair, putting on clean clothes, these small acts rebuild dignity. They rebuild trust in yourself. Sometimes healing begins in the bathroom mirror. You can also come back to yourself through your senses. Simple grounding, feeling cold water on your hands, noticing the air on your skin, listening, really listening to the sounds all around you. There's a simple practice: 5 things you can see, 4 you can feel, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, 1 you can taste. Because your nervous system heals in the present moment, not in imagined futures. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is step outside, reconnect with the earth, walk barefoot in the grass, feel the sun on your skin, take a deep breath of fresh air. We were never meant to live disconnected from nature all day. Nature reminds your body that you're alive and that you're supported, that you're a part of something rhythmic, a part of something real. Journaling is another way to support your inner world. It gives your thoughts somewhere to go, because when everything stays inside, the mind ends up carrying too much. So write honestly, without filters. Your fears, your gratitude, your reflection, your dreams, your truth. Sometimes what feels heavy just needs a place to be expressed. And finally, movement. Movement isn't punishment for the body. It's support for the body. Stress doesn't just live in the mind, it lives in the body as well. And movement helps to release it. Walking, stretching, dancing, lifting weights, yoga, whatever feels right for you. You don't have to force it, just move in a way that feels like care. Now, none of these things are complicated, but they are powerful because each one is a way of returning to yourself, of reminding your body that it's safe to soften. None of these things are complicated. They're simple. But simple doesn't mean insufficient. These are ways of telling your body, I am here now. I care about you. You are safe with me. And the more you practice, the more your nervous system begins to believe it, the more your inner world softens. And when that begins to shift, your outer world starts to respond. Not because something outside of you changed first, but because you did. Because you chose to show up for yourself, to take responsibility for your healing, to tend to your altar. And the truth is, no one is coming to save you. But that's not something to fear, because it means that the one who can save you has been with you the entire time. And it's you. So as you move forward from here, I don't want you to feel like you have to do everything at once. You don't have to master this overnight. Just start small. Start by noticing how you feel. Start by taking a breath when you normally wouldn't. Start by choosing to be a little more gentle with yourself than you were yesterday. Because every small moment of care, every pause, every conscious choice, it adds up. It teaches your body something new. It teaches your nervous system that it doesn't have to live in survival mode anymore, that it's allowed to feel safe. And the more you practice that, the more your life begins to reflect it. Not all at once, but slowly, steadily, in ways that you'll start to notice. So take care of yourself, not just when it's convenient, not just when you feel like you've earned it, but because you deserve it, because you always have. And if no one has told you this lately, I'm proud of you. for being here, for listening, for trying. That matters more than you'll ever think. And wherever you are in your journey right now, just know you're not behind. You're not broken. You are becoming. And you don't have to rush that process. Just keep showing up. Keep breathing. Keep tending to your altar. Thank you so much for tuning into the Christopher Lane Connection. Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and stay connected. I love you so much.